Tonight I remembered a story. The truth is uncertain because the owner of the story is unknown where he is now. The last time I met the owner of the story was in the late 80s when we worked together as securities in Kinabalu city. The story begins. A local youth has gone to further his studies abroad for 3 years, so his fiancée stays in Sabah, waiting patiently and faithfully until his fiancée returns. In those days, there were no cell phone facilities like today, so they only sent letters once a week to be able to look at their lover's papers. After a year passed, one evening, this young man received a letter with a rather strange content. The letter was written by his fiancée's family, but not by his fiancé himself. A fluttering feeling whispered deep in the corner of his heart, "Don't let anything happen." Immediately he returned to his homeland. After landing at the airport, he quickly looked for a rental car that would go to a village where his fiancée was in the interior. The journey only took 2.5 hours after passing the unpaved road, about half a kilometer before arriving at his fiancée's house. This is through a group of houses that are on the left-right side of the road where there is a home shop still open with bright electric lights outside. The young man was quite surprised to see a girl waving on the side of the road near the shop. The driver of the rental car stopped the car. The young man was surprised after observing that it was his fiancée wearing a white dress that was slightly wet from the rain. As quickly as the young man opened the car door and came out to meet the girl, "Are you here? Why don't you just wait at home? You're okay?" The young man quickly hugged his fiancée, but he was surprised that his fiancée's body was a little cold, and he bowed down without looking into her eyes. He brought his fiancée into the car. The young man took out his fiancée's favorite red Fanta drink and then gave her a drink, but the girl managed to brush it off so that it spilled a little on her dress. About 200 meters before reaching her house, the girl signaled for the car to stop, and she stepped out but still managed to look a little teary-eyed. The girl disappeared in the darkness of the night before she could be stopped by the young man. As soon as he arrived at his fiancée's house, there were many visitors. The young man quickly entered, and what he saw was his fiancée lying in the living room. The young man wailed in sadness while hugging the body. He was stopped by some family members, but he desperately said that he had just met his fiancée, and some even thought he was insane because he was so hysterical. He said he had evidence of spilled drinks, but they were just surprised because there was a container spill.